What is up YouTube, Joe here from Zephyrwargames, and I'm bringing to you guys an updated profile for Machinedramon. So this is going to be black based Machinedramon post EX9. Thanks to the brand new Machinedramon we have a brand new way of essentially playing this deck. And the way I've kind of assembled this deck is to try and go more towards the OTK. And I'll show you guys the combo at the end on how the OTK is essentially assembled. You can take that as a pun. And you'll see that in a bit. But yeah, Machinedramon's really cool. I really love Machinedramon. He's one of still my first decks I ever took to a big event. And I have lots of love for this this card and this deck and just overall the playstyle. I love a deck with a gimmick, and this is like one of the most iconic gimmicks that now this game has to date. So as always guys, if you enjoy this, give us a like and comment and subscribe down below. Ding the notification bell, because if you enjoy posting content here on YouTube, you don't want to miss out on that content, and that notification bell helps prevent that. All of the support is greatly appreciated, and thank you guys so much for doing so. So with all that said and done, let's get into the deck. So you can go with essentially any egg for the black base that essentially fits with your playstyle or just what you want. I just gone for a good old classic BT6 Pagumon, where on delete with the top card of your deck, if it's a black Digimon, add it to your hand, otherwise place it to the bottom. Your rookies are essentially fodder for this deck, so being able to just swing them, and if they die, cool, you could potentially get a free card. I just think it's great. You could go with the new Motimon, I think it's Motimon and Monitormon, where if you have Black Tamer, draw one. That's also good. We do have more Black Tamers in this deck, we should see later. But I think that requires you to have, the fact that requires you to have another card in play that has either a 4-cost or 4-cost drop. I think this is just better by just, you know, promoting swing, maybe you die. And you're potentially getting a card. We're only playing 8 rookies in this deck, which is 4 copies of EX1, Hagurumon, trash a card with Cyborg and Machine Trait, draw 2 on play, and 4 copies of Ukamon. We all know what Ukamon does now when a Digimon gets promoted. With your top 3 cards of your deck, add a Digimon Tamer to hand, return the rest to the bottom, then hatch a new card. Both of these cards are fantastic, and in black base I just think are great, though Ukamon can work in both bases. The only champion I'm playing is just 2 copies of Promo Raremonn. On play when Digivolving, trash a card in hand to draw 2. The inherent is when attacking by trashing a card in hand, delete an opponent's level 3 Digimon. That rarely ever comes up because you rarely do Digivolve. This is mostly just have another cheap cost to play, on play, draw 2, and trash cards. Moving into the fights where, you know, most of the deck lies. We are playing 3 copies of the brand new EX9 Machinedramon. We are playing 3 of this because this is the main card that's promoting and enabling our OTK. So it can evolve on a Cyborg or DM trait for 3 memory, and when this card would be played from your hand by trashing a card with Cyborg or version 4 trait in the hand, reduces cost by 2, so it can be dropped for 5. On play when Digivolving, by placing a Digimon card from your hand face down as is Digimon's bottom evolution cards. Delete 2 of your opponent's play cost 4 or lower Digimon. For each card in this Digimon's evolution cards that's face down, add 1 to the play cost effect that this card can do. The inherent is at end of attack once per turn, by unsuspending this Digimon, delete 1 of your Digimon with the lowest level. That is going to be very important for our OTK, and you will again see that later on. Moving to the other cyborgs, we have our security attack +1ers, because now we're doing less trashing and more security attacking. So we're doing 1 copy of Wargroundmon X Antibody, 1 copy of Volcanomon, and 1 copy of the EX9 Metal Greymon. Wargroundmon, you're never going to be using his when Digivolving in fact, because we can't Digivolve it. So we're only doing this as it's a completely different name in the deck that is a cyborg and has security attack +1. Volcanomon could potentially be a blocker for you, but again, mostly he will set +1. Metal Greymon has a similar on-play cost effect as Machinedramon. You can reduce its play cost by 2 by trashing a cyborg or version 1 trait. Then it has an on-play when Digivolving by placing a Digimon card from your hand face down, from your trash as is face down as is Digimon's bottom evolution card. Delete up to 5,000 DP total worth for your opponent's Digimon. For each face down card this Digimon has in its sources, add 2,000 to this effect's DP maximum. So really good DP removal there if you need to get rid of some bodies. Then we're playing 2 copies of Machinedramon. This is mostly here for the protection. We want to have some on-play protection. And as you would probably see, most of these cyborgs have an on-play effect to go alongside with our new Machinedramon, which you'll see a bit later on. But yes, so all these guys, most of these guys have a strong on-play, which again, Machinedramon is in here for the DDG protection and not being returning to the hand or deck. You do have that alternate if you kill something in battle, trash opponent security. For our DP gainers, we've gone for Jet Zephyrwargames and Digimon are good old classics. No, we're not going to use these, as these are all turns plus 2000 and they're completely different names. They will never share a name. We are playing 1 copy of Machinedramon from BT7. I would play 2, but unfortunately I only own 1, which is crazy because I class myself as a Greymon guy and I completely only have 1 of these. I would probably play 2, as this is a fantastic on-play effect, which is on-play if you have a tamer in play, gain 2 memory. If you don't have a tamer in play, you may play a red tamer card from your hand without paying its cost. We don't have any red tamers in this deck, so you're not going to get that. So you're only going to be timing this when you have a red tamer to gain essentially 2 memory, making your overall Machinedramon, you get a total play cost of only 4, which is absolutely crazy. Then we have a your turn. Once per turn, when any of your opponent's Digimon is deleted, gain a memory. So again, very strong memory gain there, further reducing your play cost essentially. For more one-offs, we're playing 1 copy of Cyberjump Ace, another way to get to your Black Tamers on play. And when Digivolving will top 5 cards of your deck, you may play a Black Tamer card among them. There's a play cost of 4 less without paying the cost. Then return the rest to the top or bottom of your deck in any order. Then if you have a Tamer, you get to D-Digivolve 1 of your opponent's Digimon. It has a when attacking event to D-Digivolve 1. 1 of the brand new EX9 Andromons. Again, another way to get another cheap cyborg on the field. We can reduce this play cost by 2 by trashing a cyborg from your hand or version 3. Then on play when Digimon, his Digimon card with from your trash as a face down evolution card. 1 of your opponent's Digimon gets minus 3000 DP for the turn and a further 2000 for each face down source inherent blocker. Machinedramon from EX9 can reduce its play cost by 2 by trashing a cyborg, and it has an on-play when Digivolving by placing 1 Digimon card from your trash as a face-down evolution card to 1 of your opponent's Digimon D-Digivolve 1 for each face-down card that you have. Then delete 1 of your opponent's Digimon with 3000 DP. Sorry, the sun is going all over the place, so I don't have any lights right now. I should really turn on the lights. Inherent Piercing. 1 copy of Machinedramon from EX9 can reduce its play cost by 2 by trashing a cyborg, and on play when Digivolving by placing a Digimon card from your trash face downs evolution cards. From 1 of your opponent's Digimon, trash any 1 evolution card for each face down card this Digimon has. Then return 1 of your opponent's Digimon with no evolution cards to the bottom of the deck. Inherit its end of your turns. Once per turn, this Digimon gets to unsuspend. Then we have 1 copy of Oblivionmon from BT20. You're never going to get a security effect, though, really, but you can maybe, it could maybe come up if you evolve it on a Raremon. When Digivolving, flip your opponent's top face down security face up, and then your turn. If your Digimon checks a face up security card, you may place this card as the top stacked face down card, bottom of your security card face down. Mostly you're using this for the inherent that this Digimon attack target can't change. If you're up against a blocker deck, that's very strong. 1 copy of the classic Rapidmon from starter at 17. Strong on-play effect to Digivolve 1. You're never going to get the protection, unfortunately, because we do not have green tamers in the deck, but you also do have that inherent of trashing your opponent's security card. And because of how the new Machinedramon works, is it doesn't actually need colors, specific colors. We can actually tech in the classic EX4 Machinedramon for that inherent protection of when attacking. If your opponent has 8 or more cards in your hand, you get to unsuspend. So more restanding for free. In this day and age, your opponent's going to be getting so many cards in their hand that probably by turn 3, they're going to have 8 cards in their hand, so you can trigger the Machinedramon. Moving on to the level 6s, as you can see, we have a lot of level 5s in this set. We have 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 level 5s in this deck. You could go less. I probably wouldn't go any less than 15. That's probably my magic sweet number on top of my head. I think if you're going less than that, you might as well just play the DM variant. Moving into the Machinedramon, though, because we've got a brand new analog man, which we'll see later, I'm still going to be taking 2 copies of BT11 Machinedramon, as we now have more valid targets for this to get into an analog man, and more analog mans that we return to our deck to get ourselves a free Machinedramon. Very, very strong card here. If you want to know exactly what it does, though, when digivolving and on play by revealing top 5 cards of your deck, add 1 analog man among them to your hand and 1 card with Cyborg in its trait or Machine in its traits to your hand, or place it as this Digimon's bottom evolution card. Trash the rest. On delete, by placing an analog man fate in play to the bottom of your deck, you may play a Machinedramon from your hand without paying the cost. There is a way that you can build this deck where you just play like 4 of these and you're just constantly rotating over and over again, using the Machinedramon to just delete yourself, return an analog man, play another copy, get into a Machinedramon, swing, die, keep on going on there. But I'm not playing that kind of variant. I'm just going to be solely focusing on the 4 copies of the EX9 Machinedramon. Big shout outs to my mate Joe, who essentially got 3 of these for me from all of his pulls at Sneak Peek, and I just traded him some cards. So I'm very, very happy that I have at least one of these ORs. It's absolutely fantastic. So what this card does and why this card is so good is that it has a on play when digivolving and when attacking once per turn by placing a level 5 Cyborg or version 5 trait card from your trash or hand as this Digimon's top evolution cards. Activate 1 on-play effect on this Digimon's top evolution card. Activate 1 on-play effect that card has. So if you place the Metal Greymon and you have Tamer, you're going to gain 2 memory. If you place the Metal Tyrannomon, you're going to get Digivolve protection or Digivolve something. Metal Greymon, you get to delete stuff. Megadramon, you get to delete stuff. Like, you have so many options that you can utilize. Cyberdramon to potentially get more searching. The list goes on and on and on, depending on how you want to spice up your deck. It has an all turns though that when this Digimon will leave the battle area by trashing its bottom 2 face down cards or Cyborg trait Digimon cards, it doesn't leave. So no longer checks for colors, no longer checks for levels, it just trashes 2, doesn't leave. And it has an assemble of -6 for 4 level 5 Cyborg trait Digimon cards with different names from your trash. This is why having different names is so important in the deck now, as opposed to having different card numbers. As now when you're assembling this guy, you have to have different names. You need to have a good variety of the names. Obviously, you probably want to focus on like maybe 1 or 2. As you can see, my main focus is the Megadramon and the Tyrannomon. Otherwise, most of the cards in the deck are completely different names. Maybe like there's only like 2 Metal Greymons in this deck. Otherwise, everything else is like different names, which is absolutely fantastic for the assembly skill. And then to round up the level 6s in the Digimon in the deck, we are playing 2 copies of Chaosdramon X, as this is the form of the OTK, or as part of the OTK, as it gets all the effects of the Machinedramons in its stack. And when it would leave the battle, when this Digimon would be deleted, you can trash your opponent's top security card. And again, we're going to be having ways to protect it. Moving into the Tamers, we're playing obviously the 4 copies of the old analog man from BT11. Trash a card over Cyborg, that's level 5, gain a memory, draw a card, redirect them to Cyborgs, all that good jazz. And we're playing 3 copies of the brand new analog man from EX9. Again, Joe, thank you for the old art. So what this card is firstly a mem setter, yay! But also your turn when anytime you would play a level 7 or higher Cyborg or Machine or DM trait Digimon, by suspending this tamer, draw a card and gain a memory. Then you may place a card from your hand face down as any of those Digimon's bottom evolution cards. Absolutely fantastic. From further reducing our costs, you'll see how cheap we can play this Machinedramon in a bit into the combo. Moving into the option cards to one out the deck, we're playing 4 copies of Supreme Connection. We really want to get the consistency, we really want to get into our cards, and we really want to get into a cheap Machinedramon for our players. And then 3 copies of the Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon. We want to have that Rush, we want to have that Blitz, we want to have the Trashing, we want to have all that good stuff. So that's the deck profile. I'm going to quickly scoop all this up and show you guys how the OTK works and then why I built and how I built this deck in the way that it is. And then you can see, you know, that there's many ways to now play Machinedramon, which is absolutely fantastic. We're far away from the EX9 Machinedramon days, though you can still tech him in. So I'll see you guys in a minute. And here we are at the combo portion of the video. So I'm going to show you guys the most optimal way, like the most optimal way of doing this whole combo, you know, the combo at its best. Obviously, you don't need to have essentially everything here that I'm going to be using. But this is just to show you how cheap you can now play Machinedramon in terms of like memory, you know, and what you're going to be doing. So as you can see here, we have, you know, we have our setup here. Unfortunately, I didn't bring a memory marker with me for it. So we're just going to be pointing at the free memory here. So you need to have, your opponent's got like the 5 security. You have all your cyborgs and trash. You need to have at least a security tap, 1 security tap plus 1 and 1 EX9. You got your analog man in here, you know, setting you to 3. And then you have your Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon, your BT7 Metal Greymon. You have your Chaosdramon X and your Machinedramon from obviously EX9. So you're at your turn, you're set to 3 because of the new analog man, and we're going to use the Attack of the Heavy Mobile Digimon, trashing our Metal Greymon from their hand so that now our machines have Rush and Blitz potentially, but we're not going to need the Blitz as you're going to see in a minute. We are then going to use the Supreme Connection to allow us to play a cyborg from my hand or machine trait from my hand for a cost reduction of 3. We're going to do the assemble of Machinedramon, so reducing it by 6 memory. We're going to be placing Megadramon as our bottom source, our security tap plus 1 as the top source, and then 2 other cyborgs. So obviously, if you have a DP buff somewhere, you're going to want to put a DP buff in there. And then, because we never really get to use them before, I'm going to put the Gargamon here just so you can see, you know, that we can place any cyborgs in here. This is going to be for free memory because Assemble reduces us by 6 to 6, and then Supreme Connection reduces us by further 3. So for free memory, just thanks to Memsetter, we got our level 6 boy in here with Rush. We're then going to trigger Analog Mass Effect because we did play a cyborg. We're going to tap this to draw a card and gain an additional memory. And then we're going to use the Machinedramon's effect, which is on play, load a cyborg from our trash to the top source, and then we're going to trigger its on play effect, which thanks to the BT7 Metal Greymon, because we have a tamer, we're going to gain 2 memory. So we've literally just played level 6 for no memory for free. This is the cheapest we've ever been able to play Machinedramon, which is absolutely insane. So we're going to do our 2 swings because we have security tap plus 1. So our first 2 checks here. We're going to trigger the Megadramon here to restand and then attempt to delete your lowest. Because Machinedramon is the only card in play, we're going to trash our 2 sources. One of them needs to be the Megadramon, and then we're going to prevent ourselves from leaving play. We are then going to go and evolve into Chaosdramon X antibody for 2 memory. We are then going to use the effect from Machinedramon as Chaosdramon's effect, which is when digivolving, load a level 5 and trigger its on-play effect. The on-play effect of Megadramon doesn't matter at this point, because what we're just now going to do is going to swing for 2 more checks with our Chaosdramon X antibody, trigger the Megadramon's effect again by restanding. We can then delete our Digimon. Because Chaosdramon X would leave the battle or be deleted, we trash your opponent's top security card. Also to 2 checks and now the trash. And then we're just gonna save ourselves because we have Machinedramon's effect to just trash our bottom 2 sources. And then, because we've restood, we get to do 1 more swing for game. And that is the OTK of Machinedramon now, which is absolutely insane. absolutely great. I love this new card. I love this new Machinedramon. Essentially, I just love what you can now do with the card and help the deck. You've got so many ways that you can utilize this deck. Utilize this deck in so many cyborgs that you can just make Machinedramon absolutely fun, absolutely crazy. So guys, I hope you all enjoy this deck profile and combo at the end. Leave your comments down below what you're doing with Machinedramon. Which one are you focusing? Are you doing a hybrid of all of them? Are you still focusing on EX1? Are you just going full on with the new EX9? Are you just doing 8 Machinedramons like I saw with a Digipanda video and that kind of thing? Just leave your comments down below. I would love to see hear what you guys are doing with Machinedramon. So let's like, comment, and subscribe. Till next time, as always, stay safe and of course, happy dueling.